Onsia abo apan si manson pepepe. Adishima my mo bibia akwa ba ediba GOB TV and radio enso na emre aso se oman ne amahodo so nsema mensa kan ze enwume no nsia kase ebo no mitumi ede ebeso mu ba bibia wo na wote menka enso etumi ede efri na ensam no edoso ye pa de edi mu akotena ebi enso eni ene ye go piemu e na hyebedwafia ena anu ada parliament ko asetena na ye reject budget no ana omaye nhyehyɛ ya ahodo ene omusa ko piemu o parliament na omko piemu no amane ba yense ka no yede munchemu nyina na nso betumi ede aba saas na wonmonyamfo ani den ne Martin Amidu enso etimi di nsem bebre enso etimi atoja ya wo chem sesesi angasa de Ghana man pen na Adanko Akufu Ado no enso ede nwura fita enso etimi adwura ne ho ya wo pese wo kirese wo kon eti aketa hye ne proye ne dream die nenso ono no ono angasa no atare kokko na woni mu a yadi munchemu nyina na enso betumi ede aba Dr. Akwamnadofo enso etimi ede aba abonti a wo chem sesesi anangasa budget no yetimi agi atum no was a reduction no enso etimi ede eba ewo LEVY nsensem no enso ho yadi munchemu nyina no enso betimi ama na hwefo enso ani etiefo na ne ma enso etimi a possible pa enso etumi ede amaye ensem we ani afufuro bi ene ne yebete enso ewo yenkase so na ne ma enso etimi akon kama pa enso etimi ede amaga na fo nyina enso ani GOB mrantie enso ewo ho na akwachi na de efesika no de ye dondo ebe ye den so eframatuam nyuma ko bi adaro ma no so masne ama kase egbo enso etimi aba brefo travel and tour GOB multimedia Leusen phones and accessories Sasuna Genesis fashion designs and boutique so abono modin ye pan ene makase enso aye de na ya akono na ye hwampa enso etimi de ama na hwefo enso ene etiefo betimi etie enu anya live nso a Facebook GOB TV and radio Twitter honso no kwa Facebook ko sana GOB TV and radio na ne man so etimi kama pan so etimi de ama afa ko YouTube onso GOB TV UKGH na ne man so etimi akonkan pa enso etumi ede amaye ewo ho afa ugo piemu nso a ewo www.gobnewsonline.com kasie twagu frede enso ho abefo tente video nso no www.gobtv.tv enso na kasie nso aye kama pa tune in ye GOB radio afa ko modern Ghana radio enso ye GOB radio na ne man enso etimi aye possible pa enso etimi de amaye na hwefo enso eni etiefo ho na ne man so etimi kama pa de amai midi ye no Oheneba Appiah Kubi minene maji edwa eri kase enchire mu nyina no enso entimi ede ebro kase ne tofa bono enso eni yemfa kase enchire mu nyina no enso entimi maye na kache na ne man so entimi konkan pamfa maye na hwefo enso eni etiefo ye hyase enso etumi ede free parliament na parliament akwa setena ya amane bayen se kan ede free parliament wono chezesesi ano budget no yetimi akwaji atum wo ha onimonyamfo ani die ni abamba bin eni ho enti no second deputy speaker ni die ni Joseph Osewusu dodo na Frenjo wise wono enso ye mra hyebedwani di mabekwai mensni no wono ne wetimi tiremu a wototo bibia enso etimi ede maye enso wa hu sensem ni na so etime kama pa enso etime da me na hwefo enso eni etiefo na yesuma ya mani boni ya mansa enso mani kopie mu ho wenye ya mansa o UK anazo o United States of America ni bia nemo we ya mansa ya reporter ana otimi kopie ma o de kase enchire mu nyina no enso etime ede emaye na the course of parliament no wetime abonu tofa ede amaye ya mu akwaba tujamae
abawa beto dia sese ade ma hyebedwom ade a omaji 2022 budget na atumu sese ade akoya emigesem ama majority for omo parliament onmo na yebeka ya afiade ya etwemu ya ade omo bo 2020 budget ni gu ya na omo susu se ejapado eni LEVY hu nsensament no omo botu gu ya sese ade omaji atum aba speaker of parliament ekwakoji ayahwe ewa amanone
etiyano ani yakwatini nkano ya mansa de pano no ana ne wetimi de kase ni chire mu nyina no and so it's made a bray. Now, our fans, and wait me cause of parliament to abon it tofakra, and so it's made a maya, and so ever. And once and some, and so it's marriage, ever, he has it. Now, yet work as any so, and no appear no when you find the answer any come not for. Now, and they will know, and so it's me about pre NDC, flag bearer ship no, ya, we are no meeting, didn't want some kakra, and so it's me too, Jano. Now, what the money Bobby and said, my baba until what James said, says young as I did or mine, and so it's me come upon, and so it's me, dear May, never be answered to me come upon, dear. And yet, ye ain't me now, Wapa. Now, for budget, no, ya, tumno. Ye bet me at 11 and some no, and so for now, something now set my come upon. Eddie, am I in our I feel crown. We be answered bet me come upon, and so it's made am I in an. None of my sets my possible pan, and so what ya. And a gunner from better with the MPP are buying, and so I ran out 11 ounces and 7. What me enter Sokakra, and so FM free 1.7% now. What they are banuso. Now, Osuzu said, what me to so. None of my said to me, I come upon ya, and near my submit me a conkind. Eddie, am I in iron so and once and 7, and said to me, I come upon, and said, a man I have for, and so any a tear for. Never be answer come upon set media may, and so now yet 1 so, Eddie Amagana for, and so would Munyan for any A plus. And they were in send me set me to ya, ya, watch him say. A Japa budget no, and so to me, and I said Japa you know, and so ya dear, yes, share idea to me PM, and so our budget no, and so now A plus no, name them now, okay, can. Obi say, I let you a and once and 7 years at my deja. Now, I brought a copy once and trophy share with the Abiasim. I know Timmy Sans 7 years at Metuja. Now, yes, my money bonny, and so many to me call. Echo fans 7 years me call and says me at the Amay, young go TV.
Ojintumi A plus eda babetu abonten ache mu se sesi ane de eyade ana ejapado na na 2022 budget ni mu no abana giatuma we ye free mu kra no ka sa asem we e woni Facebook post mu no ka sa yimpo no majority members ni bi won ma omo yo ma agin se on be tweet budget e nam sa ejapado we mu sensem we hunti no de se na ye kasa de majority members ni bi won ma omo nya giye pan se aban no e sa de free o na nche bia na 26 November ya eye fiade ya etwem to just say my shebejum abo budget na egu ana ejapade yi ka wotichi wenti a omyesa
etiwe enso ya mani boni otimi ko piem onhemudie na ase na wotimi de sane ma no enso etimi ko so etimi de amen na hwefo enso eni etiefo na ne ma so etimi ya kama pa enso etimi ede amaye na se sia na ngase na tobut no enso etimi free ehonom no finance minister no enso etimi be tu ja ka say etimi abolition no budget ni be to dwane pe omanfo ahodo na aso yamatimi ahye omo wo ho e wo man kunkuru Ghana ha na nka eja ye pese ye hwanya yan mani boni bi so na nka etimi ne bon koma kakra enso etimi di fro na enso no ya busu na homa na se to ahoma no enso etimi ntomu wo ha ehun sem ni nyina no enso etimi kama pa enso etimi di amai na nka se kra na omanfo enso mo man kunkuru Ghana ha enso budget ni mu enso etimi edi afa na ne man so etimi akwa pa enso etimi edi amaye enso ewo ho na asesia no uko pm parliament ya de se proceedings no enkwa wie ye kra no omugu so omu ye proceedings ahodo no enso ewo parliament wa eniema so timi koso na eniema so di ahini na edi adanse ye pa enso ewo ho ye behwe se nke betimi abo apini omu kakra enso ewo ho na ye we se ne eniema enso etimi koso pa enso ewo ho nom se ne budget no approve no ho sensem no nyina no enso etimi aye enso etimi edi amaye na onimonyamfo ani din enso ani Joe Wise no enso etimi atena se wodwoma se proceedings no enso etimi akoso ye ntwa ye ni kakra ne yenko parliament enko tie nsem a ekoso kakra enso enfem free o.
Page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10. Yes, Honorable Member for Patterson.
Honorable Speaker, on page 8, normally after the names of attendees, the next item is correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. On this votes and proceedings, it is not there. And I wanted to find out if it was done the last time sitting was held. For the records, I think it's very important.
Very well, the Tribunal Office will verify and make the appropriate correction. Thank you.
And also on page 9, item number 6. This is my number, I think it's very important. The Honorable Member for Ekutu and Deputy Majority Leader, Mr. Alexander Kwamina Afenomakin, challenged the decision of the chair on the voice vote and called for a division. So there should be a division. And item number 7. Mr. Speaker, oh please, quiet. It reads, in an uproar, I think the proper rendition should be following an uproar. Mr. Speaker, again, this particular item is not properly captured. The full import of this sentence must be recorded on the vote, because I remember that when Speaker resumed sitting, he made a point that when the disturbances were going on, he didn't know what was happening. So a clerk informed him that it was because of his directive that the ministers of state must leave the plenary, and upon our insistence that the Secretary of the NDC must also leave. But I think that if these are not part of this particular item, it is not complete. It's not complete.
Members, the votes and proceedings are like the minutes, the summary. The official report will capture the full details of waiver worker recordings of what happened in the chamber. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Speaker, the item number 8 on page 9. I think there's a mix-up. There's a mix-up in item number 8, how it's been captured. Speaker, it begins, Right Honorable Speaker directed that the House undertakes a head count for a decision on the prayer of the Honorable Minister responsible for finance instead of the initial application made by the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, Mr. Alexander Kwamina Afenomakin, for a division in accordance with Standing Order 1132. The House counted as follows: ayes nil, noes 137. Right Honorable Speaker accordingly declared the vote on the prayer request lost. Then you have question put and motion disagreed to. Which question? Speaker, I believe, and then following after that we have the House accordingly rejected the budget statement and economic policy of government for the year ending 31st December 2022. I believe there's a mix-up in how the table office captured proceedings. Let them avert their minds to that. And Speaker, clearly we were also in our offices watching proceedings, and I clearly recollect that the Speaker, after taking a vote, putting the question and taking the vote, came to the conclusion that those of them who had moved for the rejection, for the adoption of the motion moved by the minister, there was no number. No number responded to I. No person responded to I. So that was near.
Honourable members, order.
And the parliament, Neja, as it's not near Kosovo, and so, and near man said to me, I come a pants with me to my. Now, I talk as any sweat a man I have for, and so near tear for. Yababa Modiana yet me as a parliament. Near go fan near Koso. Oh, hon sweat to me at the man I have for, and so near tear for. None your man sweat my con kind pa, and sweat me the may. Now, way I am at Namidu and New Walker say, Matnamidu. And so in the moving set my babontia watch him say. They say, I ain't him, another danko kufa the botae. Ya or person want to mean conqueta, Jenny prayer, and so to me free of my concrugana ha. Now, I can't say, I would do baby. Ya, I'm a minor, or beyond sweat me who says, Yano, on one gazade or your opinion, ya. What to me abwa. Now, what to me a iketa, Jenny prayer, and said to me a free ho. Now, ain't any matiamidu, Sepa pay. Now, no so it me a special prosecutor. And so, maybe a chemono, any Ghana, yam first special prosecutor, Enyano, Michael Kunogana, when Munyam Fanny D. and Swenny Martin, Alamisi, Benz, Kaiser, Amidu, and with timid answer me in a 2 hour watch him say, Ghana man paying another Kwaku Fado Nangasan, or you'll be a no Catraujum, and I say Catraujim, Takraujim, and a near man said to my baby and so her. Papa ye pebia kamia kwese waye ne ho enso mani panyi na anso hu se wonu anga so peketa ahye ne proye enso asem nenso no wo president packet ahye proye dream die kan ye enso pa anso etimi aba na penso a na nado dan kwa kufu ado na matia midu no enso etimi de sanse manyi na anso etimi atuja wa abra wotimi atwete ye woni Facebook ho no ri bi so ato peten ye enso ma wiase afa na nyina so monko webi no muntie ebi se wono na experience awakonya enso special prosecutor office wono edi adanse epefe e kire bibia anso mane ma so e konkan se e yan papa enso e ho se bibia anso akwaka ma no na emom no Ghana man panyi na nadanko akufuado enso ye panyi bi anieme se si an keta je proye ni dream die no enso ya de a entimi mpa ho efri na yi so da na ne man so etime kama pa enso etime dia mai na wonimonya mfani din enso ene prof na Jane opoku agima mami enso etima be yeso afo awahwe ya disu yansem so epen na enche kura fimpi mienu ni aduonu no na ono na sai running mate enso etimi ade ema John Dramani Mahama enso eho na yenyina nim science and mass quiz national one year etimi course enso Michael kono Ghana ha no ya aja keta fo etimi di third na presec boys etimi di second no na prempe amanfo enso etimi edi first wo honom no na eno ana mami tina se ano se keta fo eso etimi ayade papa for the first time in history for the past 8 years nie obebia enso etimi nkopie mu enso of finance nemum keta fo enso etimi akire mu pa enso etimi akire say yes women can do what men can do ampa na ne mam so etimi akwaka mapa abraba awa ni din enso eni Francisca Alami eni enso etimi ekopie mu bi abra no e contestant e de ema keta no na sabo friend mami etina se ano se abo friend se no we ne ho nyonje pa eni se o kan question na pa na wetimi eyi ano ne de o pepa ni se wetimi shabo friend eni monyam ni senti sika sombo 10,000 Ghana cedis en kan sikarada no enso eye 100 million wa tabri area koma keta fo se o fama ababa wa ni din enso ne Francis Alamini na ezenie manzo etimi kwa kama pa enso etimi fama no etima maje na Jane enso oye professor na koye running mate di ma John Dramani Mahama no e wa afin pimienu ni du aduonu no enso etimi akoma ababa wa 10,000 Ghana cedis 100 million enso keta ha what is suma on manyamfo ani din enso ani woku je to abrakwa se won fanko no fantimi koma ababa we na ne manya kama pa abofra no ena etimi dai screens ne so no wa binye na se quiz mistress no etimi kan when x is equal to 500 is equal to 9 no aka na se ne man so etimi di ahini pa enso etimi de ma baba wa yitim se wa ben na zaki midis ketwa no wa ben papa ene when the molecules is going to form the compound no amia so krrr na so the sad no timinicator for ebe pie mu finance afofia ntwata omutimi koto so miensa ho a eno kra no na prof Jane Ajima no poku esi asona ni ye papa evi se finsha be nwotwinie wo ba bia nso timi kopie mu wo finance a we enso etimi ahye man monyam enso wo ho nsem ni nyina no enso etimi aye kama pa enso etimi ede amaye enso ho na ne ma enso etimi aye possible pa etimi ana Jane no ene we etimi akoye ababa we friend Francisca Alamini enso adoye ewo Ketasco enso ho a ehon nsem ni nyina no esi etimi aye kama pa. On this note, say no debi oden kekanu. Yere kase ni nyina so betimi asia. Ni atimi abawura mu parliament. Ni akotie se ne ne man so asimi koso. Desia no. Majority leader wonmonyafo ze chairman sabonsu. Ena wo no. Enso etimi ekasa wo ho. Na ne man so etimi kama pa. Enso etimi ade amaye na ne man so etimi possible. Enso ewo ho. Eti no ye bawura mu parliament ho. Ni akofa se ne proceedings no. Enso etimi ekọ ede amen na hwefo enso eni atiefo enso ewo ho
to endeavor to expedite consideration of those estimates and report to the House as soon as possible. Secretariats of the various committees are encouraged to constantly liaise with the table office in order to take custody of estimates of the MDs under their mandate. The Speaker, the Business Committee once again recommends that the House commences sitting each day at 10 a.m. and also have extended sittings to ensure that the business schedule for the week under consideration is completed. The Speaker, Friday, December 3rd, 2021 is National Farmers Day, a statutory holiday, and it is expected to be observed as such, which means that apart from today, there are only 2 more days, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, that the House would sit. Speaker, in accordance with Standing Order 162 and subject to Standing Order 53, the committee submits to this Honorable House the order in which the business of the House shall be taken during the week. The speakers have said Tuesday was supposed to be an urgent question standing in the name of the Honorable Richard Kwame Sefe. And then we have ten other questions. Mr. Speaker, given where we are, I'm not too sure whether I'll be able to deal with them. Of course, when we are finished with the various issues, we'll see whether there's time and space for us to go on the question time. The Speaker, statements are also programmed to be made today. There are motions that have been slated. On Wednesday, there's no urgent question, but there are 12 questions slated to be answered. Speaker, the Minister for National Security has questions, roads and highways, as 8 questions. The Speaker, on Thursday, we have 4 urgent questions, and 3 are to the Minister responsible for Finance, and 1 is to the Minister responsible for Fisheries and Aquaculture. For Finance, we have 2 more questions, ordinary questions, and for Fisheries and Aquaculture, we have 4 more questions. Mr. Speaker, that indeed is
the order of questions from today up to Thursday. As I've indicated, Friday is a statutory holiday. So, Mr. Speaker, this in a nutshell is a program of activities for the week. I beg to submit.
Honorable Leader, I thought I suggested to the Business Committee Honorable Majority Leader, I remember suggesting to the Business Committee not to schedule any more questions during this busy period of the budget debate, in this budget period, as the Business Committee considered that you defer all private business until we are done with the work relating to the budget.
Mr. Speaker, if the House comes to approve the budget, the estimates, the consideration of the estimates cannot be done in a day for the report to also be produced in the same day. This is why the first week after the approval, that is, if we come to do that after the approval, the entire week more or less will be frozen for questions. That is why we have that pack of questions. Last Friday, as I indicated, Mr. Speaker, I have made that observation. Something happened in the House. The House purportedly rejected the budget. If indeed that is true, Mr. Speaker, that would also mean that the budget would have to be resubmitted. And in the course of the week, the days will be followed and will be filled in by the questions. But I believe the House knows what to do, and the House will do what is required of it to do.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, the Majority Leader, in submitting the business statement, said that Friday is a public holiday because of Farmers' Day. Given the fact that the House is likely to rise somewhere in the middle of December, is it that the holiday being Friday, 3rd December, will be compensated for, and whether there are any plans for us to sit on Saturdays before we rise? Leader, sorry, Mr. Speaker, I may have to put a question again.
I heard you.
Yes,
whether he's making arrangement to cover the public holiday.
Yes, and whether we'll be sitting on Saturdays before we rise.
Yes. Yes. Honorable Leader, kindly hold. Let me take. Honorable Senyaku, you wanted to ask a question, yes?
Mr. Speaker, that is the issue that I wanted to raise. So,
quite a few of those on the street. Very well. Honorable Leader, you may answer the question. The question by the Honorable Deputy Minister. He's asking, in view of the fact that the Friday, 3rd December, is a public holiday, do you have any program to replace that day as to the House sitting on a Saturday or a Sunday?
Speaker, the Business Committee did not come to any determination on that. And in absence of the committee, I cannot come by any program. I may have to do some consultations, and if it is possible to have a sitting, we could. But given the circumstances, I don't want to give any promise that the House may sit. I guess by Thursday, we should be able to determine whether or not we'll sit on Saturday.
Very well. In the absence of any more questions, the business statement for the week ending Friday 3rd. You have a list of questions and urgent questions. What do you propose to do with them? Question.
Any member may, with the prior approval of the Speaker, move a motion on a specific matter of urgent public importance. Mr. Speaker, you may recollect that when we came to correcting the votes and proceedings, I drew attention to item numbered 8 on pages 9 and 10 of today's votes and proceedings, and drew attention to the fact that the budget statement, arguably the most important document that the government produces in a year, was presented to this House by the Minister responsible for Finance on behalf of the President on Wednesday, the 17th of December, by a motion. Mr. Speaker, the votes and proceedings provide, indeed they have captured, that at the time of the approval or disapproval of the budget, the number in this chamber, as recorded in the votes and proceedings, was exactly 137 members. Mr. Speaker, our orders provide under Order 1091, and I quote, "No question for decision in the House shall be proposed for determination unless there are present in the House not less than 1/2 of all the members of the House. And except otherwise provided in the Constitution, the question proposed shall be determined by the majority of votes of the members present and voting." This provision is fortified by Article 104 of the Constitution, which provides, so Speaker with indulgence, I would read that except 1041, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Mr. Speaker, evidently, the number 137 that was relied on by this House to reject the budget did not meet the asset test established by the Constitution under Article 1041. You recollect that the Speaker, before proposing the question, clothed himself with Article 102, which relates to the correct number for the transaction of ordinary business, apart from decision making. The Speaker, that in itself was most irregular. And I believe the day after the event is the most appropriate time to deal with this matter.
Inti die koso ewo parliament no ena eja ye twa bi kire wo na one manso etima konkan pa na kase ni nyina nso etimi asimidin ene Oheneba Appiah Kubi asda kase nkoma brefo travel and tour GOB multimedia nso ka ho bi lo same phones and accessories enso edi motintimai pa na ne manso etima ya kama enso etime dia mai na ye the parliament SS origin media nso eso nyangopon ya adma ochina 1st December eni ye nhia enso e wa hamakraw.
That the number that was invoked, the article that was invoked, was insufficient to cover the determination of the question that was proposed for the support or rejection of the budget. And so, Mr. Speaker, I invite you to upholds the motion, and indeed, by inference,